Keep listening to English every single day helps improve your understanding and speaking naturally. It trains your ears to recognize words, sounds, and phrases. Daily practice builds confidence, vocabulary, and fluency. Stay patient and consistent. The more you listen, the more confident you'll become in speaking and understanding English fluently. I believe in my ability to handle it. Life is full of uncertainties. Sometimes it throws challenges at us that we never expected. Other times it places us in uncomfortable situations that make us doubt ourselves. But through it all, I've come to realize something deeply important. I believe in my ability to handle it. No matter what it is, stress, failure, heartbreak, change, or difficulty, I know I have what it takes to move forward, to adapt, and to grow stronger from it. This belief didn't appear overnight. It took years of small victories, quiet reflections, and painful lessons. I've had moments where I thought I wasn't good enough, smart enough, or strong enough. I've experienced failures that made me want to give up. I've been hurt by people I trusted, and I've had to make hard choices that scared me. But every time I got through something I thought I couldn't, I discovered another layer of strength within myself. Believing in my ability to handle life doesn't mean I never feel afraid. It doesn't mean I always have the right answers or make the perfect decision. It simply means I trust myself to do the best I can with what I have. I trust that when things go wrong, I'll figure it out. When plans fall apart, I'll create new ones. When I fall, I'll rise again, maybe slowly, maybe shakily, but I will get up. This belief gives me calm in chaos. It brings peace in moments of pressure. When life becomes overwhelming, I remind myself, you've been through worse. You've handled pain before. You've survived confusion and fear. You can handle this too. It doesn't mean the situation gets easier, but my attitude becomes stronger. My focus shifts from the problem to the solution, from fear to faith, from panic to patience. There's power in believing in yourself. It doesn't mean you think you're better than others. It means you honor your journey and recognize your resilience. You know that you've been tested, and you've grown. You trust your instincts, your experience, and your ability to ask for help when needed. That's an important part of handling life, knowing when to seek support. Believing in myself doesn't mean I do everything alone. It means I'm not afraid to lean on others while still standing on my own inner strength. There are moments when I feel uncertain. Life doesn't come with a manual. Sometimes I don't know what the next step is. But I still believe in my ability to take that next step, even if it's small. I don't need to have everything figured out to move forward. I just need to keep showing up with courage, with honesty, with hope. Handling life is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about staying with myself even when things are messy. It's about showing up for the hard days, not just the good ones. It's about being kind to myself when I stumble and being proud of myself when I succeed. It's about trusting the process, even when I can't see the end of the road. Every time I reflect on the past, I see the storms I've weathered. I see the sleepless nights, the silent tears, the inner battles. I also see the laughter, the breakthroughs, the growth. I realize that I've handled more than I ever thought possible. And that gives me confidence to face whatever comes next. Sometimes people ask, how do you stay strong? My answer is simple. I believe in my ability to handle it. That belief is not arrogance. It's self-respect. It's knowing that I've earned the right to trust myself. It's knowing that no matter what happens, I won't abandon myself. I'll keep trying. I'll keep learning. I'll keep loving. It's important to speak kindly to yourself during hard times. Your inner voice matters. When I tell myself I can handle this, I feel a shift. I don't magically fix everything, but I give myself space to breathe. I give myself a foundation to stand on. I no longer feel like a victim of my circumstances. I feel like a participant in my healing. I become someone who takes ownership, who adapts, who keeps going. There will always be things outside of my control, people, timing, accidents, outcomes. But I am in control of my response. I get to choose how I show up. I get to choose whether I let fear stop me or fuel me. I get to decide whether I shrink or grow. And I choose to grow. I choose to believe that I am enough. Not perfect, not fearless, but enough. Even in my lowest moments, I remind myself of this truth. You've made it through every single hard day in your life so far. You're still here. You're still breathing. You're still trying. That means you're stronger than you think. Believing in your ability to handle life is not a destination. It's a daily practice. Some days that belief is rock solid, other days it's shaky and uncertain. But even when it flickers, I hold on to it. I feed it with self-care, with reflection, with gratitude. I remind myself of who I am and what I've overcome. And I celebrate the little victories. Getting out of bed when I don't feel like it. Speaking kindly to someone when I'm frustrated. Trying again after failure. Choosing hope instead of despair. These small actions build a strong foundation. They remind me that strength is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's simply not giving up. So whatever life brings, whether it's joy or sorrow, peace or pain, I will meet it with open hands. I may not always have the answers, but I have faith in my ability to learn. I may not always feel brave, but I know I can take the next step. I may not always know the way forward, but I trust that I'll find it. Because deep down, I know this. I believe in my ability to handle it. Believing in my ability to handle life isn't just about being strong in difficult moments. It's about developing a mindset that helps me stay grounded even when everything around me feels unstable. It's about learning to trust myself through the ups and downs, the surprises, the setbacks, and the slow progress. And more than anything, it's about building inner stability so that no matter what changes outside of me, I know who I am inside. There were times when I doubted this belief, times when fear felt bigger than faith, when I questioned whether I was capable enough to get through something hard. But I've come to understand that believing in myself isn't about having no fear. It's about moving forward despite the fear. It's about saying to myself, yes, this is scary. Yes, this is uncertain. But I'm going to show up anyway because I trust myself. This trust has grown slowly. It's been built through moments of discomfort and personal challenge. For example, when I had to speak up for myself in situations where I normally stayed silent, I felt nervous, even scared. But I did it, and afterward, I realized I was stronger than I thought. Or when I faced failure, and instead of letting it break me, I let it teach me, I saw that I was more resilient than I gave myself credit for. These experiences became little bricks in the foundation of self-trust. Every time I stood up, even when I was shaking, I became more grounded. Every time I showed myself compassion after a mistake, I proved that I was on my own side. And that's one of the most important parts of handling life, being your own supporter. Not tearing yourself down when things go wrong, but gently reminding yourself, it's okay. I'm learning. I'll get through this. I've learned that it's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes. It doesn't mean I'm weak. It just means I'm human. Life can be a lot to carry: responsibilities, expectations, relationships, and unexpected changes. But in those moments of overwhelm, I try to pause. I take a breath. I tell myself, one step at a time. I don't need to solve everything in a day. I just need to take the next small step forward. That's how I handle it, slowly, calmly, and with presence. One thing that has helped me strengthen this belief in myself is looking back at how far I've come. It's easy to forget the growth we've gone through because we're always focused on what's next. But when I take a moment to reflect, I remember all the things I once thought I couldn't do, and now they feel natural. That's proof that I can keep growing, that I can keep handling whatever life brings my way. This belief doesn't mean I never ask for help. In fact, part of handling life is knowing when to reach out. I've learned that strength doesn't always mean independence. Sometimes it's being vulnerable enough to say, I need support. And that's okay. Believing in myself means knowing that I'm worthy of help when I need it, and wise enough to accept it. Sometimes, handling it doesn't mean fixing everything. It might just mean staying calm in the middle of chaos, or holding on to hope when the future is uncertain, or showing up to a hard day and doing what I can, even if it's not perfect. I've realized that even on my worst days, I'm still doing the best I can with what I have, and that's something to be proud of. There's a quiet kind of power in knowing you'll be okay. Not because life is easy, but because you've made a decision to trust yourself. You've made a decision to believe in your strength, even when the world feels heavy. That belief becomes your anchor. It becomes your light in the dark. It whispers to you, "You've got this." One breath at a time. I remind myself that growth is not a straight line. Some days I feel confident and capable. Other days I feel unsure and tired. But no matter how I feel, I always come back to this inner truth. I've handled things before, and I will handle this too. My past experiences are my evidence. My journey is my proof. My courage may not always be loud, but it's there. When I look at others who've been through tough times and still keep going, I see reflections of that same strength. We're all human. We all fall. We all break sometimes, but we also rise. We also heal. We also grow. And when we remind ourselves of that, we find the strength to keep going. That's the power of believing in yourself. It's not just personal. It's universal. Every day is a new opportunity to practice this belief. Whether it's handling a stressful moment, facing a tough conversation, or simply making it through a long day, I remind myself that I can do it. I'm not perfect. I'm not fearless, but I am capable. Even when my mind fills with doubt, I come back to my breath. I come back to this steady voice inside that says, "Keep going. You've got this. You can handle it." And when I really think about it, this belief is a gift I give myself. A gift of peace, strength, and self-respect. It's not something anyone else can give me. It's something I choose every day. I choose to believe that I'm not too broken, too late, or too lost. I choose to believe that I am enough right here, right now. And with that belief, I keep walking forward. I keep showing up. I keep growing. Because no matter what the journey looks like, I believe in my ability to handle it, and that belief carries me through. There's a quiet confidence that comes from within when you start to truly believe, "I can handle this." It doesn't scream or shout. It doesn't always look brave on the outside. But it's there, deep within, like a steady flame that refuses to go out, no matter how strong the wind blows. That belief has become one of the most powerful tools I carry with me each day. Believing in my ability to handle life is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's not about ignoring my struggles or acting like I don't feel pain. It's about facing life as it is and reminding myself that I have what it takes to go through it, not around it. It's the understanding that I don't have to escape from challenges. I can meet them, face them, and rise through them. There are days when the path feels foggy, when the future feels far away, and when all I can do is just take one tiny step. And I've come to learn that that one step is enough. Because sometimes strength isn't in running forward. It's in not giving up when you could have. It's in the stillness of choosing to keep going, even when progress feels invisible. I faced moments where everything inside me screamed, "This is too much." Moments when the weight of stress, expectations, or grief threatened to crush me. But somehow I made it through, not always with grace, not always with a smile. But I made it. And that alone tells me something important. I can trust myself. I don't always have control over what happens around me, but I do have control over how I choose to respond. That power of choice is where my strength lies. Life can be unpredictable, accidents, changes, disappointments, but no matter what comes, I remind myself, I've handled unexpected things before. I've found calm in chaos before. I can do it again. Even in the moments where I break down, I remind myself that falling apart doesn't mean I'm weak. It means I'm human. And even while I'm breaking down, I'm still holding on. That counts as strength too. It's in those moments of vulnerability, the moments where I cry, breathe, rest, and then try again, that I find how deeply rooted my strength really is. What helps me maintain belief in myself is replacing negative self-talk with gentleness. Instead of saying, "You're messing everything up," I choose to say, "You're doing the best you can." Instead of saying, "You're not strong enough," I say, "You've made it through so much already." Words matter. The way I speak to myself matters. And the more I speak with compassion, the more I build up my inner trust. There are still moments when fear visits me, fear of failure, fear of not being enough, fear of being misunderstood. But instead of letting fear drive me, I let it ride alongside courage. I've learned that fear and belief can coexist. I can be scared and still keep moving. I can be unsure and still keep trying. That's what makes belief real. It's not about being fearless. It's about being committed, even when fear shows up. The road of life isn't always smooth. Some days bring unexpected turns. Other days feel long and tiring. But through it all, I continue to show up. I continue to take care of myself, even if it's just in small ways. A deep breath, a short walk, a quiet moment of prayer or gratitude. These little acts of self-care are reminders that I value myself, and they give me the energy to keep believing in my strength. Sometimes I remind myself of this simple truth. I've survived 100% of my worst days so far. Every hard day, every heartbreak, every mistake, I'm still here. That means something. That means I'm stronger than I used to think. That means I've got what it takes to continue. Believing in my ability to handle life also helps me take responsibility for my choices without shame. I understand that I won't always make perfect decisions. Sometimes I'll choose wrong or react poorly or miss an opportunity. But instead of drowning in regret, I choose to learn. I choose to grow. I give myself grace, because that's how I get better. I also believe in learning from others. Watching people I admire handle challenges with grace, wisdom, or courage reminds me that I can do the same. We are never alone in our experiences. And just knowing that other people have handled tough situations helps fuel my own belief. If they can, I can too. If they grew through their pain, I can too. And I believe in starting over, again and again if I need to. Life is not a one-time attempt. If something falls apart, I can rebuild it. If I lose my way, I can find a new direction. If I feel stuck, I can move, even if it's just mentally at first. The power to begin again is always inside me, and that power is part of why I know I can handle anything. Belief isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a whisper. Sometimes it's a shaky breath. But every time I choose belief over doubt, I get stronger. Every time I face something hard and keep going, I build resilience. And every time I encourage myself, even quietly, I'm creating a mindset that supports me no matter what happens. Handling life doesn't mean I have to have all the answers. It means I'm willing to ask questions, explore, learn, and try. It means I don't let fear define me. It means I stay open to growth, to healing, to possibility. So even when life feels like too much, I remind myself, you don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to keep going. And I will. Because I believe in myself. I believe in my ability to rise when I fall. I believe in my capacity to change, to adapt, to heal. I believe in the goodness that still exists in me, even on my worst days. I believe that every struggle I face is an invitation to become wiser and stronger. And most of all, I believe that no matter what happens, I will handle it with grace, with courage, with patience, and with the quiet power of someone who knows their worth. Because I always have, and I always will.